If you ever see an old woman holding a lamp beside an empty road at night, don't stop walking, don't speak to her, and whatever you do, don't let her get close enough to light your face, because in my town, people who meet the lady with the lamp are usually found dead before sunrise. The police never officially connected the deaths. They called them accidents, heart attacks, disappearances, suicides, but everyone in our town knew the truth. Every victim saw her before they died, and eventually so did I. This is Tales of the Dark, and this is the story of the woman who waited for me every night beside the old road. My name is Nathan Cole, and when all this happened, I had just moved back to my hometown after almost 11 years away. Black Hollow wasn't the kind of place people missed. Small town, too many forests, too many empty roads. The kind of town where fog sat low across the ground every morning like something trying to hide the earth itself. I returned after my uncle passed away. He left me his house near the edge of town, cheap inheritance, broken roof, rotting porch, bad memories. Still, it was better than sleeping in my car. The house sat near Old Briar Road, a long stretch of cracked pavement cutting through dense forest before eventually reaching town. Locals avoided that road at night. I learned why 3 days after moving in. At the time, I worked late shifts unloading trucks at a grocery warehouse outside town. Every night I walked home around midnight because my car barely functioned. The road always felt wrong after dark. No animals. No insects, just silence and fog. The first time I saw her, I almost walked past without noticing. An old woman standing beside the road holding an oil lamp, that was all. She stood perfectly still near the tree line about 50 feet ahead. Long grey dress, thin figure. Face hidden beneath darkness. The lamp itself glowed softly orange against the fog. I remember slowing down slightly, not because she looked threatening, because she looked out of place. Who stands beside empty roads at midnight holding an oil lamp? I considered asking if she needed help. Then something stopped me, the silence, not ordinary silence, heavy silence, like the entire forest was holding its breath around her. I kept walking instead. As I passed, the woman never moved, never looked toward me, just stood there holding the lamp. Still, I glanced back once after passing her. She remained motionless beside the trees. The next morning I learned somebody had died, old man named Walter Green, heart attack during the night according to police. But while buying coffee at the gas station, I overheard 2 women whispering near the counter. He saw the lady again. The other woman immediately crossed herself. That caught my attention. I asked the cashier what they meant. The woman behind the counter stared at me strangely. "You new here, sort of." She hesitated before answering quietly. "People around here see a woman carrying a lamp before someone dies." And then she immediately changed the subject, like she regretted mentioning it. I laughed it off at first. Small towns create stories like that constantly. Ghosts, curses, local legends. Still, that night while walking home again, I couldn't stop thinking about the woman beside the road. The fog felt thicker than before. Streetlights barely penetrated the darkness ahead. Halfway home, I saw the orange glow again. My stomach tightened instantly. The woman stood farther down the road waiting beside the trees. Same grey dress, same lamp, same stillness, except this time she was closer, much closer. Close enough now for me to see parts of her face beneath the hood. Pale skin, sunken cheeks, eyes hidden completely in shadow. I slowed down unconsciously. The woman remained perfectly motionless. The lamp flame flickered softly inside cracked glass. Then suddenly she tilted her head slightly toward me. Not much, just enough, and for one horrible second I felt certain she was smiling beneath the darkness. I walked faster immediately. The sound of my footsteps echoed unnaturally loud against the empty road, but after passing her I noticed something strange. I couldn't hear her breathing. Couldn't hear fabric moving. Nothing, like she wasn't truly standing there physically. When I finally reached home, every light inside my uncle's house had turned on. I froze immediately. I knew I turned them off before leaving for work. My pulse hammered violently while I approached the porch. The front door remained locked. No signs of forced entry, still something felt deeply wrong. I entered carefully. The house looked empty, silent, but in the kitchen, muddy footprints stretched across the floor, small footprints, barefoot, leading toward the hallway. My uncle's old hunting rifle immediately came to mind upstairs. I grabbed it without hesitation, then searched the house room by room. Nothing, no intruder, no explanation. Only muddy footprints ending abruptly outside my bedroom door, like whoever made them simply disappeared. I barely slept that night, and around 3 a.m. I heard something outside my bedroom window. A soft metallic sound, like glass tapping gently against wood. I forced myself toward the curtain slowly, then pulled it aside. The woman stood directly outside my window, closer than ever before. The oil lamp illuminated her face completely now, and I finally saw her clearly. She looked old beyond normal aging, skin stretched thin across bone, eyes completely white, mouth hanging slightly open. But the worst part was recognition. Something about her face felt horribly familiar. The woman slowly raised one finger toward the glass, then pointed behind me. I spun around instantly. Nothing stood inside the room. When I looked back toward the window again, she was gone. The next morning, another death spread through town. Teenage boy killed in a drunk driving accident. People whispered again about the woman with the lamp, and for the first time I started believing them. Days passed, then weeks. Every single night I saw her beside Old Briar Road, always closer, always clearer. And every morning afterwards someone died. The pattern became impossible to ignore. One night I tried avoiding the road completely by taking a longer route home through town. Halfway there, I saw orange light glowing beside an alley ahead. The woman stood waiting there too. That was the moment I realized something horrifying. She wasn't tied to the road, she was following me. After that, sleep became impossible. I started drinking heavily, keeping lights on constantly, checking windows every few minutes. The woman appeared everywhere now, beside parking lots, across empty streets, standing silently beyond tree lines, always holding the lamp, always watching. And each time she appeared slightly closer. One evening I finally confronted an old man named Harvey Mills at the gas station. Harvey had lived in Black Hollow his entire life. People claimed he knew every secret buried in town. When I described the woman, all color drained from his face. "You need to leave." That was his first response. "Who is she?" Harvey stared toward the rain outside for several seconds before answering. "They say the woman appears before death." "I already know that." "No," Harvey whispered, "you don't." The old man leaned closer, lowering his voice carefully. "She doesn't appear for the people who die." Silence filled the gas station, then Harvey quietly continued. "She appears for the person she's searching for." Cold fear spread slowly through my chest. "What does that mean?" Harvey hesitated, then finally asked, "Your mother ever tell you how she died?" My stomach tightened immediately. "My mother died when I was 12, car accident. At least, that's what everyone always told me." Harvey looked genuinely nervous now. That wasn't the truth. Rain hammered harder against the windows outside. The old man swallowed slowly before continuing. "Your mother disappeared during a storm." My heartbeat started pounding violently. "She walked Old Briar Road all night carrying an oil lamp searching for you." I couldn't breathe properly anymore. "What are you talking about?" Harvey's eyes shifted toward me carefully. "You went missing in the woods." Fragments of memory suddenly surfaced inside my mind. Rain, trees, my mother shouting my name somewhere far away. Then Harvey whispered the sentence that changed everything. "They found her body beside the road the next morning." My hands started shaking uncontrollably. "No, she froze to death looking for you." Something inside me collapsed hearing that, because suddenly I remembered the lamp, and the final thing my mother said before disappearing into the storm that night. "Stay where you are, I'll come find you." Harvey grabbed my arm tightly. "If the woman gets close enough to light your face," his voice trembled slightly, "she finally recognizes you." Then he whispered, "And people she recognizes never survive the night." After leaving the gas station, Nathan couldn't feel the rain anymore. The storm soaked his clothes completely while Harvey's words kept repeating inside his head. She froze to death looking for you. For years he believed his mother died in a car accident,